We're live.
Here. One other thing we're doing up here is caulking the top edge of these fascia boards where it connects to the zip sheathing, just to keep water from going behind the fascia boards and kind of like sitting back there, keeping it wet. We could zip tape that, but I got caulk out
All
pretty
right,
fast, so
let me
we're
get
doing
started on
it's on,
this.
finish roofing.
Get the laptop going.
Caulk, C-A-U-L-K. Yes. Is that your cousin? Yeah. Sweet. What's up? What up, brother? I was just letting Max drive us around here. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. He just hit the house because he's on his phone. Okay. I decided to knock the corner off of this and let this socket just run straight down until it hits the back of the fascia. I think that's going to be the best idea. And it's too late. I just did it. So I was like, if I just do it, I can't think about it anymore, right? That's what you got to do. Nice. Nah, dude. This is getting good. When cutting stair stringers like this out of a 2x12, you will most certainly encounter a problem that I see every time I cut stringers, and it's the board pinching in on your saw cut and binding the blade, making it impossible to press the saw forward through your cut. And that's just a natural stress in the piece of wood that is binding and pinching as you're making a cut. Okay, so what do you do about it? Well, you can back the saw out and make another cut beside your real cut out of your piece of waste that will free up just enough space for you to finish your other cut. So I end up doing this probably on half the cuts that I make on stair stringers. I'll show you what they look like. We've got some rain ribbon in here, so we're going to try to get this last piece of the soffit put up on the right side of the entry. All right, I'm in position. All right, Max, go in and out. I think shoot it. Yep. Yep. So if you happen to tack this material in the wrong position with these ring-shaped nails, they won't pull out. It'll just pull the heads right off of before the nail comes out of the framing. So the best option is to get a nail punch and try to drive it all the way through, then caulk, the hole when you reinstall it. So that's what we're doing. This needs to go up the hill. It's like a 3/16 of an inch. He's gonna try again. All right, we got that punched through and taken down and then reinstalled, shifted up the hill a little bit. And now the sun's back out, but I'm still done. I'm cooked. you might be able to tell by watching some of this video, screwing these parts together accurately is a real struggle. And the problem is, with this yellow pine material that we're using, the hard and the soft grain are so differently hard and soft that the screws just want to follow the soft grain. So you might have your pieces perfectly aligned, and try to run your screw in, and it'll hit right on a piece of hard grain and then skip over to the soft grain, making your alignment off by a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch, which is enough to have to start over. So it took me 3 minutes to screw 4 boards together on the end of this set of stringers. Now, the only good thing with screws is that you can undo it and take it apart or whatever a few times and still get it perfectly aligned in the end. Another thing I like to do when this is a problem is I'll use a finish gun, like a 2.5-inch finish nail, because for whatever reason, the finish nail is not affected so much by that hard grain, soft grain issue. And so you can just hold it perfectly where it's at, pop, hit a nail, just like that, 1 or 2 nails, and everything will be tacked into position so that you can screw it together or nail it. When John was doing something smart, actually lifting this up on a block of wood to get access, to get a good angle on this piece of wood here. But even at that, it's still a struggle. And I hope that doesn't fall over and hit you in the shins.
Don't hit you in the shins.
I'm gonna stay far away. Yeah. Alright, I think we're good now. I got everything ready.
Like, get your shoulder pressed in the job.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so we'll just hold this side and it's gonna sit on the floor. And it should just lay up against that side. Alright, John.
Bucko, how you doing, buddy?
Got it with the camera. Fall, it's gonna get hit back. Yeah.
Everything sound good? You working?
Okay, we're going down. More. Okay, we're touching down. Type that side button. Yeah, up against the floor. It's been a big day out here for Jono and Jamie, and this is the culmination of all their efforts. Another set of stringers put in. Not bad, not bad, not perfect, but
I think
not
I'm
well, that
too
was-
low.
Okay. Good job. Depends. All right, one more set to go. Gotta get up there. Yep.
Give iconic anniversary gifts to awaken their joy.
Listen up, Marylanders. Here's something I wish I knew. If you were injured in a car accident and it was someone else's fault, you could be leaving a lot of money on the table. The lawyers at Science and Kirk can help. They only get paid if you get paid. Just tap below and take a free 60-second survey and find out how much your case could be worth.
Good. I'm glad all's good. I just popped in for a quick catch up. Just about to eat dinner. So we'll be leaving very soon. Well, I'm glad you popped in, Poker. I did do some more. I did the headlight offline, and I did put the stripe in there, and up top there I put the stripe in that. I did put the, I didn't do it on the other headlight. Never did the other headlight, but I did the outline of this headlight. I still got to do it, some blue over it. But right now I'm just working on the tire treads. Now how that goes. Oh, and I did suspension. All the suspension, the spring, or the shock, the headlight mounting panel, and brake hubs and all that yesterday. And right now I'm working on this tire, and then I'm going to move. Right now I'm doing the tire, and then I'm going to move over to here, where I got to do this part of the suspension and the headlight. Let's see the headlight right now. And I noticed yesterday my head was in the way. So you guys, Please let me know if my big head's in the way.
Kinda hold it center,
I think that's what
let it
Dan
settle,
was
and
trying to
just
tell
see
me
that gets us.
yesterday.
Drop her down just a little. Yep, right there. That's a good height. So we just gotta let
Or
it
the
stay
other
settled and
day.
see what happens. It's got a lot of.
Cause I watched that video last night, and I'm like, dang, that's what Dan was talking about. My head was, big head was in the way.
The outside edge, which is right there. So Max, just mark a quarter-inch over from where your string is hanging.
Guys,
That's
just
our
tell me,
point.
your head's in the way.
Okay, Max, eyeball a quarter of an inch over. Looks good from here. I mean, I'm 20 feet below you, though. Are you good? So I can tell looking at this chalk line that the chalk line is straight with the truss, and these are kind of curvy. We want it to snap behind so we get our top plate nice and straight. John's out here for a visit, and he's got a picture of what we're going to do to this living room ceiling for the finish.
It wasn't you, Dan?
Beams. So,
I thought you were saying something that my head was in,
somehow, magically.
the head like the Roadrunner or something like that.
We are thinking about doing it out of real, like dimensional, like whatever it is, 8x8. And putting it in.
But I noticed watching it last night, like I said, my head was in the way.
Instead of doing like a wrapped, like framing member.
So real faux beams instead of faux.
So hopefully today it's not in the way with you guys. And let me know how the sound
We
is.
got the plans pulled up so you guys can see what we got going on with the doors and windows we're gonna frame for. 12-foot wide, 4-panel door, and then 2 rectangular windows that hopefully equal 12 feet right above them. And then there's the beam work that we were just looking at. So the whole point of us waiting to frame this wall until now was this right here. We can go from the bottom plate all the way up to the truss that's now installed in one shot and get a really strong framing member that'll keep this wall from like bowing in and out with the wind or whatnot. So we're gonna put this here and get a plumb mark all the way up. And I think we'll put like 4 or 5 of these in to make a really stiff, almost like a tree trunk right here. Okay, Ray, that's on the money. I just gotta get to the top now. You like it, Ray? Yep. That way. Do the other side. Okay, let's get a number.
I was watching Kelly O'Bear last night.
We got all these studs and jacks installed on one side of the opening. Looks like a tree trunk. See if it feels like one. Pretty good. Oh, I got good. I know you want me to help frame this wall. I don't care really. Okay, good, because I'm not going to. Because there's just a lot of other stuff I'm trying to wrangle. Really getting materials and choices made with the homeowner. So I'll give you a short list. Fascia boards are coming. Okay. He's selecting the paint color. I got soffit.
Oh, I gotta go.
Soffit.
Sorry, looking good, Michael. Thanks, Dan.
We'll call them faux beams, but they're going to be real.
Coco said he won't be here long either.
Gable end,
So that's all right.
beam pieces.
I know you guys are busy. It's Thursday. Gotta get the stuff done for Thursday.
The spacing of lighting, I think we're going to keep it in the framing category and knock it out before any finished materials happen, but also before any mechanical stuff
I'm
happens.
trying, guys.
See how I did that? That's for emphasis. There you go. We've got not much material left here as far as 2x6 goes. Definitely not enough to finish all this today. Jamie, order more material. I can't believe how much material we keep having to get. Every time I think, oh, that's going to be it. Nope. We're out of 2x4s too. What do you 2x4s? If you want to do these fireplace framing out of 2x4, yeah. We've got a box in a fireplace chase right there and right there. Yeah, 16s are great. That's a big door, 8 feet tall, 12 feet wide. Big. We did run out of 2x6 material for that front wall, so I'm going to jump over here to something different. There's something everywhere you look, literally, that needs done still. And what needs done over here is this little roof over the bump out is not put together. We do have trusses,
but this is a section that we lowered the rest of the walls on the garage, did not lower the bump out, and just looking at it, I think the trusses are going to be really close to the bottom of that window if we install them without lowering it. So I guess I'm going to get some scaffolding and saw a foot off all those studs and put the plate back on.
Yeah, I thought you were here longer than 3 minutes, Dan.
Kick. I'm just going to ditch a couple of these shorter top plates here. It's easier just to get rid of them than to saw that loose. There we go.
I think it's loose, Chase. We'll just try and set it up on these wall pieces here. Oh, man. One more. One more. All right, let's flip this back on here. These little micro trusses still get a ledger, just like the big trusses, so we're putting that on there now. Go ahead, you're good. It's your lucky day now that Chase is here and my battery's dead. I was gonna yell Max, but now it's not. I saw your battery die and I about started to get down. Chase! Well, guys, we're down to one final tiny truss, and it just came to my attention that Max did not get to set a single truss on this house. He handed a million up, but didn't set one. So, not one. You're gonna get to do the last one. Setting the biggest one. Don't mess yourself, guys. Don't mess it up.
Thank you for coming on by, Poco.
He did it.
I know, gotta eat. Say, get in my belly.
Do you want to leave that big overhang on the little pop-out
I
thing?
knew you were gonna ask me that as soon as you looked at
I mean,
it.
it's kind of big. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll look good. I don't know.
What did I tell you?
There you go.
So you think it's too big?
Well, I don't know. Looks a little big.
I can definitely argue with you that this overhang is fine and it's not too big, but I know that as soon as I walk away, you're just gonna cut it smaller. So let's just cut it smaller.
I feel like it's just the width of it. It's catching my eye. Like,
I already said you could cut it off.
it's a little too wide. Convince me.
There we go.
It's wide. And this is what it's like to work with Jamie Perkins.
I gotta pick a number here that Jamie's gonna love. I'm thinking, let's cut this thing off at 13, and then we'll add a couple layers of fascia back to it. He'll love that.
So not to knock on Jamie completely, it is a good idea to look at the proportions of things, I think, and in this case, a little tiny bump out with an overhang that's actually larger than the bump out it's covering. I think it was proportionally a little off, so hopefully this will kind of rectify that, get us looking good proportionally, and I'm going to go and start cutting them.
Didn't know you were a machine operator there, bub.
The best there ever was.
Well, there you go. Got ramped in the crane. Can you see the line?
No.
Tilt the tip towards.
You're right. Big time.
Yeah. My tip too long.
I can't reach.
I'm shaking my hand intentionally to get the.
Too wide. I can't get through the freaking stud base.
I heard it all now. Okay.
I try to get the tire treads the way they are.
We're ready for the fascia boards over there, which are 2x6. We still didn't get a delivery, but I found a couple. I took another one off inside that was like a rail piece, replaced it with a 2x4. Gonna make it happen.
Yep. Robbing Peter to pay Paul, Daddy.
Okay.
Jamie's not looking, so we're not ripping this angle on the top edge.
We're just gauging it with the speed square to make sure it's in plane, plus a little. Okay, push. Oh, that's too much, right? Down, 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 down. Right there, hold. Hold right there.
I'm holding.
Oh, it dropped the buzz, but it's okay. You guys love it or what?
That's beautiful.
Does it look nice and small for you?
I like it. Elton John.
I'm going to a bar mitzvah. This is all ready for sheeting now, but as it turns out, we used all of the roof sheeting, the red stuff. If you remember the last day we filmed that, I'm just remembering myself. And so we're gonna put on some yellow subfloor right here. We've got a few extra of those. They're on the ramp, so we're scavenging that as well. Basically scavenging a bunch of stuff to not waste material. I did have a buddy that did his entire roof in Advantech, and he said besides lifting it up there, he loved it. It was a really solid roof. That thing's pretty heavy, huh?
Yeah, a little heavier than green.
I wonder if I should put some blocks. I don't know. I can probably just manhandle it. I'll try to just do it.
Or I can assist you.
Okay. Just let it tip to me, and I'm just gonna pass it over my head. Yep. We've just about got this roof done, and I'm telling you, this little tiny roof is a ton of work compared to no roof, I guess. It's still a lot of work even though it's a small one. And we're gonna run this sheeting now, strip across the top, and we're just looking at this middle piece. You can see it sticks out that ½ inch to make up for the sheeting, so that we don't have to put a little strip of sheeting on in front of that. That was on purpose, but I told Ray, you should come tell Jamie that you ripped the ½ inch off of all these.
I mean, there's
They were sticking out.
They're in the way.
Let's see what he says.
I gotta go. At Albatross Fly Fishing, we provide saltwater fly fishing charters. From day one, M&T Bank really took the time to understand my business. In this industry, there's a lot I can't control. The weather, the tides, the fish behavior. It's so important for me to have a strong bank behind me to handle my cash management and all my banking needs. M&T Bank has helped me navigate the challenges of running a seasonal business, and it's been absolutely critical for my success. It feels really good to have a bank that has my back. I don't have to worry about banking, and that's a great feeling.
I hate doing tire treads. But it's gotta be done.
If you're naughty, then deliver something else. Justice. And now I'm on the naughty list. I forgot the meaning of Christmas. What does that even mean? I don't want to alarm anybody. There may not be another Christmas ever again.
Why not?
That's a stencil for somebody to make tire treads.
Lost my powers.
Make a collection of tire tread stencils.
What do you need? Your nose candy?
But they gotta be. It's gotta be rounded.
We need you.
You can't just make the shape going one way. You gotta make it rounded.
It's time to save Christmas and get off the naughty list.
Like a circle wise.
Try to avoid violence.
Is it me or does
No, that guy smells amazing.
Cause like on this tire, it's got like 2 different kinds of type of tread type to do on. You got your sidewall tread, like how this one's got it.
He's taken.
Then you got your regular tread that goes down the middle, and there's all kinds of different kinds. there's different kinds of those treads going down the middle. Like this one's got the, I should say the shaky kind.
We're really not wasting material here. We're now two-piecing the last tiny piece just to save another full sheet. This one we got the angle. It's only like hitting half, so more. Try that. Yeah. Alright, you're kind of at a weird angle to do it, but you can do it. Ready? Yeah. Did that hit? One hit. Okay. Good job. I think this is the last piece of roof zip going on here, finally. Give that a slice. Chase.
Okay, that'll dry on down like a transparent white in the way I got on there. So if I come back later on, I could
We're not wasting any, okay?
come back over it with
Precise.
the airbrush.
Beautiful.
But now, alright, I got the headlight done, I got the tire tread done. Happy with that. Could do it. Let's do.
It hit though. You told me 83. Yeah, I was guessing. From here.
You can barely see it, but we're going to do it anyway.
Thank today's video
A little bit of the
sponsor,
sidewall
where you can get
over
tuck
here.
tools for half the price. Today we're checking out their retractable garden hose reel. Now you guys might have seen one of these before on the channel because I've already installed one next to my garage and I absolutely love it. I've had it for over
Yeah, you guys, if you want to do the make the stencil, the tire tread part, and then the sidewall of the tire going that way.
Retractable hose with an additional 6-foot lead hose that covers 9,688 square feet of outdoor space.
And like I said, I'll come back. This will fade on down, and then I'll come back over it with the airbrush and darken it up with the. When I do the shadow, I darken it up that way at the same time. Oh, if you look up here, we got a glow part on top of the frame, and I got a line going there on the frame.
So you can pull the hose in any direction or just store the whole unit flat against the wall.
So,
My favorite thing is it just lets me
take
keep
that
100 feet of
over
hose
there.
nice and neat, not a big tangled mess, ready to go when I need it. And this unit does come with a 9-pattern spray nozzle that's great for washing plants, washing cars, cleaning driveways, and all kinds of other outdoor tasks. So if you want to declutter your driveway, check out the link in our video description. This is a great price at $137.90. But if you use our promo code DTOPUS, you'll get an extra 8% off. So make sure to check that out. And you can check out the other suggestion and site-wide discount code I have in the video description. Thank you, Bever, for sponsoring today's video. We appreciate it. Let's get back to work. Surprise special film guest today, Huber Engineered Woods and their social media team. They're doing a great job, but it's all vertical oriented footage, which is not any good for YouTube videos. There you go. So we got the rest of the team over here, and they're just doing some best practices with their zip system sheathing and taping it. So we'll let them get to it. Jimmy's going to demonstrate installing a window and doing the zip flash tape. We're going to install our first window here, and we're going to go ahead and get started by pre-flashing our pan with some zip tape. Come on up. We got Chase up here learning the art of hitting the stud behind the sheathing. And it's actually harder than it looks in some cases. You can say that again. So actually, he thought there was a stud, but it was up on a truss, and he shot several in a row that I knew missed because of the sound. And he was so perplexed how I knew, but it makes a different sound. That miss. This is my first try. Yeah, no, it's not. Snatch. Shot. That was awesome. you ever heard of Perkins Spiller Brothers before today?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, that's
My little brothers are loving all of this stuff, so I'm sure.
Okay. Can you tell your friends at the marketing in Charlotte? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be all into it. You know, the building, yeah. Us marketing majors just love building stuff. They'll be big fans.
I did not wonder that I was going to just ask random questions, so
I know,
great
it's like
job.
hot seat. What else? Hit me with more questions. Hey, nice hat!
Hey, that's my hat from the river over there, that show hat. I know. They're getting sunburned, so I handed out hats there, but we just got to make sure that gets back to me. Okay. Has some sentimental importance. Okay. Hey, I hope you love that hat. Just take it with you. Yeah, you're welcome. Pretty good. He's not even here. He left. Look, if you take a look right here. This is my beautiful work that I've done. Measured it, taped it, nailed it. Yeah, right here. This little guy, size doesn't really matter in this case. And we're looking good. So we're pretty close to topping out this side with our wall sheathing, which is another major milestone. The garage would be completely finished, wall and roof sheathing. Whoa! We're good. We do have some other gable ends we got to do down that way. We'll have to stretch to get that corner nailed. All right. So I can't quite reach this corner with the nailer, and he can't move over anymore with the machine because there's a hill. So I'm going to use the magnet on the stiletto here. You just have a magnet on top that lets you put a nail in, and it just kind of holds it for you. And I can extend way out and get one in, hopefully. Boom! Pretty cool.
Bro, you could've caught that.
I had the camera in my right hand.
Oh, come on.
Here, I'll switch hands.
Wow. What, hit it right in the head? Hit you right in the head?
Yeah. That was good. Yeah, I think that'll get it. Going downhill a little bit. It's deep. Alright, I still gotta cut that tape down there. Yeah. I can't reach this tape. I'm having to do crazy stuff. Dude, I'm getting it. Now I gotta get it. No. I got it now. Got it. Ooh. There's the final piece on this side. That's a good fit. Shoot it. Keep putting more. There's nothing there. It's only right here. Dang.
There we go. That looks good.
We've got that gable end done. Now we're on to this one, which is a little bit more trouble to get to, even though it's not much higher because of this kind of pit area where there's no dirt. So if we had dirt all the way in, wouldn't be a problem with the lift. So the plan is to move this scaffolding out of the way, bring the machine around, try to park it where that is, go up like that, and try to work out of the side of that bucket instead of the front. We're gonna see what the reach is, do a little test. Hey, where are you going? I'm gonna try to get to the side of the machine. The side of what? The other end. Oh, really? The green board? I'm gonna run you over. All right, we should probably move the scaffolding out of the way. They're doing it. Oh, okay. I guess you got it then. I'm gonna work on the stairs. Thank you. Okay. You want to take the bucket off and put those walk boards
And we got to come over here to the right side of the car. Do the headlight and the rest of the suspension. All this down here. So you see how I got the headlight and that. I'm going to still put some blue on that. Right now I ain't going to do it. Because I could do both headlights with the blue a little bit. But right now I want to get some of the gray color in there and then we'll go with the blue. But I want to do some of the suspension, the shock, some of the headlight mounting panel, and there's a bolt coming straight down there, so need to do the suspension like I just did this one over here. That's how it works, guys. Keep on going at it. That little bit more on the car, and then I'll be breaking the airbrush out to go over the car a little bit, and the shadow, and then the ground. I gotta do the texture look on the ground, gravel look. But I'm putting the airbrush off for a while right now.
Put a couple boards off the side that we can set the sheet on. Because holding out the front and trying to get it out around the bucket. Yeah.
Not good.
Kind of sucky.
Okay. Do it.
I'm doing it if you get my way.
Go ahead.
The reason I'm flipping it, guys, is I think my starter is too small.
What are you waiting on?
You deal with this every day?
See how the starter is here? It looks bigger. And you look at mine.
Okay, so there's
Eh,
the legs sticking out.
that's kind of the right size. But I look on
See if it works.
my thing here, it looks small. But it is the right size.
I didn't think it'd carry 4x8 sheet, but I never thought about throwing it in sideways and straight up. So here you go. Hey, let's first time.
Alright, what are we doing here?
Okay. While everybody else is working outside putting on the sheeting, I have been making some nice little drawings of the stairway that I'm going to begin building. But there's a lot of thinking and math that has to go into the front end of it before I can even cut a single piece of wood. The way I like to start every set of steps is by making this right here, which I call a story stick. And it does tell the story of where each step is. I have the actual finish tread marked out here with a little zigzag line. It's 1 inch thick. I have my
To see how the texture of the gravel is here. It is here underneath the frame, but there's a back part of the lower arm
and that's really the number that I have to know in order to cut my
right in
stringers
there too.
and install them. And in this case, since I have a platform
Anywho,
in the middle, that is basically a giant step in the way that I'm
you
figuring
zoom in,
everything.
if I
So I
zoom
need to
in,
know
you see
first
a lot
where's
of
the
different
platform
things
width
there.
and its height and how
But
big
the,
is it, and I'll build
the
that
headlight
first.
mounted
And then
panel
the set of steps running to the
is
platform,
welded
and
to
the
the
set of
frame
steps
right
running from the
there
platform
going up.
to the next level.
You see
So
the
that's
weld
my
marks
thinking,
there
and that's how I'm gonna start.
going over and up and over. See two welding spots.
Since my first move is going to be to build this platform, and it is going to be about this level, I'm going to go to my story stick and find the one labeled platform. I'm going to mark the actual framing, there it is, and I'm going to go ahead and transfer these
I'll
other
try to
lines
get
to
that in on the
represent my
picture
finished
also.
materials, so that I don't get confused about what the top line is, whether that's framing, the top of the subtrim,
Well, she's
or the
getting
top
close to
of
being
the
done
actual
with this
platform
one.
itself, which is just framing. Also, I didn't mention earlier, I did account for the finished materials. Oh, keep rolling.
There's a reflection on the light back here.
I have right here the actual finished materials that we're going to use on the main level. That's a
There's
3/4
part of
inch
the
solid
stripe I
wood
need to
flooring.
do
And
on
this is a
that
right
headlight
hand, actually
also.
less than 1/4 inch
So we'll
snapped
get
together
that
floating floor
going
for the basement
also.
level. So if you don't account for the actual thicknesses of the finished flooring, you might have a different height step at the top or the bottom, even though every step within all the run may be the same step to step. I'll wrap up this part just by adding that if there's any mystery about what the thickness of the finished material will be, for example, if the homeowner has not selected it yet, I'll always build my step a little lower just to give myself room to shim up to the right height, because that's a lot easier than trying to grind or cut every step down if the thickness of the material is too thick and I need it to be less thick.
All right. Hopefully I keep my head out of the way. Alright, we're going to go with the lower part. We're going to go down here, try to do that shot. We'll do the shot.
Get your strength back, you know? All takes time.
Here, do the 7, would you?
Yes, sir.
Just kind of want to look at the. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's see. Not a lot.
That just
Not a lot of
touches.
intake deposits. That means this motor's not, burn a lot of oil too, because that's how that happens. The crankcase ventilation system just sucks all the crankcase vapors back through the intake, and that's how you get this buildup. That's where it's coming from. Or, if you got an intake seal leaking. But what I wanted to look at was how, yeah, man, look at these these runners. I mean, this intake. Now, this engine is not boosted, so you don't have a turbocharger to maintain and worry about or anything like that. They just get this by a lot of airflow. I mean, you can get a look at this chamber. I mean, it's right down. You couldn't stack that over the intake about any better. For getting inside the chamber, same with the exhaust. It'd be interesting, and I'll get into it. I will eventually put these heads up on my flow bench, and I'll see what we can do with them. But our flow bench is right here, and it's not ready to be fired up, dang it. But if you can imagine, here's the electrical wire, the wiring for it. That carries 70 amp. I'm imagining when this thing fires up and the blower in there, I made fun once I said it's probably nothing, but it's a glorified wet dry vac, but I think it's got a bigger motor than that in there. Anyway, now it won't pull it. It won't pull a hill. It won't pull it as heavy a trailer. When I say it won't pull a hill, sustained pull. You won't be able to keep up with a diesel. But if you just got a boat and you're a weekend warrior guy and you're not a contractor, I think guys are going to be going to these motors a lot more. You'll notice the direct piston is always a little different. The top of them, they're always different than and we'll notice that when we do the Godzilla motor, the 734. That's a port fuel injection. You'll notice the piston domes are going to be different. You want to get that pump off there? Sir. Now, what's the first thing I noticed on this pump, like the LS motors? This plate would be on the backside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they've
Kind of flopped it around.
flopped that around, haven't they?
Never take off that
But,
cover too?
but what I like about that is that's a steel plate and it's not aluminum, so that means it's not going to flex. So,
Right.
That's a nice pump. Got a big inlet for the pickup. Okay, the first thing on this pump, it has a steel plate, but now you open this up, looks totally different from what we were familiar with on an LS or something like that. This is a two-stage variable displacement pump. The way they get that variable displacement, don't think of the solenoid as an on-off solenoid. This is not on-off. It is, but it does it on variable frequency. It has a dwell cycle, meaning that it'll go on-off really quickly and rapidly. It's just not on and then off. It actually has a duty cycle. And it does that based on all kinds of engine inputs from the ECM. It gets throttle position, gear, what gear you got selected, all types of information to say how much load is on this engine. And what's nice about that is that you don't want a lot of oil being pumped through the engine if you don't need it. That causes a parasitic drag on the engine.
I mean, an oil pump that's designed to pump pressure the same amount the whole time, in the same volume, when you don't need it, that's robbing horsepower from your engine. These pumps aren't horsepower free. They actually, it's like an alternator, a water pump, all those things, a torque converter, all those things, your tires, all of that is a parasitic draw on the power that engine's creating. So GM got smart with it and said, look, let's get rid of that. And this two-stage pump, it changes the inside of that, it rotates, and that changes the amount of volume that actually comes out of the pump. Pretty ingenious design, and I've had no engine failures with them yet, so that would tell me so far so good. Before you do it, let's go ahead and let's get our timing set up on it. Okay, so this is, let's try to find out with these. Okay, so the pickup's on the pump, and the pump, let's find that. Where'd my pump go? Yeah, so the way that was mounted, that's on the back side. So we have a pressure bleed off here, a valve here, and the main feed here. But here's this, do you see how that's in the front of that tiny? Yeah. Right there. Huh. Let's see what that goes to. Is that a bleed off? I don't know. Let's
Might take off the.
yeah, let's pull off the tension. This is one thing as an engine builder, you're gonna fix, I don't care what you're doing, man, if you're building an engine, you wanna know where every orifice and galley goes to. So this is coming here, and you can see in this casting thing, it's coming up here. You know, I have to pull the rest of the motor down to kind of see where that's going. But I kind of want to know where that pressure goes to. Let's go ahead and pull this front camera retainer out of there.
I went the wrong way.
Known for
Supposed to go
Let's go ahead and pull
downward.
this front camera retainer out of there.
Yeah, I'm alright with that.
Boy, that's a beautiful camshaft, man. That's a nice piece of billet. Wow. That's a nice piece of steel.
Let's go a little
So
bit
it's picking up
darker.
that oil pressure for that BVT off of this second cam journal. That's why that cam is so hollow. It's hollow all the way back to this journal. So that's how it's receiving that pressure to actuate that. He's got wall squirters in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's coming up here. That's coming up here from here to here. That's just to lubricate. But that thing is going all the way up to here. So you see that oil hole here comes all the way up to here, and that's charging the whole lifter. That's charging the whole lifters on that side. And then how's it charging the lifters on this side?
It's got a gasket that brings this over.
There you go. So it's filling this reservoir and then it's charging it. So this oil off the pump is designed specifically to charge just the cams. So it makes you wonder if that's where they're really bleeding, because you don't need all that oil on your lifters and cams. And they're pushing that oil through this little orifice here, and that's coming right through there. Here, shine my light right here. See that little orifice down there? So that's where they're squeezing that oil.
Yeah,
out.
this is your
Pump.
that's the
gap.
wire from
That's how
your
much
wire
volume
from the
is on that
headlight.
side, and this is how much volume is for the cams.
Gotcha.
And then they can adjust that. But you can see how
Yeah.
the spring would be pushed by oil pressure being applied to this dwell solenoid, and it would change this volume. It would compress that way. Let's kind of look and see how that would work.
That's alright.
I'm interested. Yeah, see that? So this lets oil pressure in here. Do you see that? Do you see that? Give me a pocket screwdriver, sir. So as the solenoid allows oil pressure to build up through here, it bleeds it into this, restricting this chamber here, closing this off, and this is the feed.
Up here is the feed for the cam.
And here's my feed right there for the engine. Right there it is. And you can see as I turn, if I leave that there, I would like to do this. I would like to have a crank. Where's that crank gear? Okay, so basically when the crank is spinning and turning this pump, it changes the volume of the pump by moving this, by adding oil pressure here, pushes this housing over, and so our vanes are less pumped. This would allow more pressure. Our volume here is greater. This would even it out. Anyway, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
As long as it works right.
Right.
Okay.
Alright. We're ready to flip over?
Yep. Okay, so we got a 6-bolt main. So you have these 4 bolts here, going down into the block, and then you got the side bolts here. So a 6-bolt main block, and it's way up inside the block. A nice flat pan rail here. This is all about strength and durability, and that's what you want in a truck motor, man.
It's always fun to me, the weird, like, head sizes. You know, this is an 11. I never see it anywhere else on the motor, but they're always doing something weird on the rods.
And I just nicked that bearing, so I'm not gonna look at that bearing, because that nicked. Motor's had some dirt go through it. All this marking and stuff, that's just dirt. Pretty small, lightweight piston, not a lot. You know, and you got all this varnish and everything, so, you know, it doesn't matter. We rebuild the motor, but it looks to me like the motor probably could have had a little more TLC. Here, let me get my caps on here. They weren't kidding when they put these counterweights on this motor. Look at this. Look how close that counterweight comes to that block. Watch. Look at that. Oh man.
Really close.
They didn't waste any time there, did they? Man. They got the same thing on the. Look at all the. Look at these. Heck yeah. Okay. Let's do those. Whoa, too strong, I guess. Fuck, dude. You gotta turn down the bump. Jeez. Does your wife know you're that buff, dude?
You know, I think she does. She'll watch our video and she'll be like, look at that strong, sexy man.
Yeah. I know we're joking, but every guy in the world loves when his wife thinks he's the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Yeah, the rings aren't frozen in the pistons, but you know, with all this varnish, it just could have had a little more TLC, maybe a little more maintenance. I think I'm wearing my. Am I wearing my? Do your maintenance?
You are.
I am. It's appropriate. Do your maintenance, man. Feels like old times were the way.
I know, right? It's nice to be out of here once in a while.
You're such a big shot now, dude. You know, you can just work in your little office.
I'm just living the dream, you know?
Watch your knuckles.
Dude, that one was easy.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Well, now we know why this motor went down.
Yeah.
So, now this is interesting. So let's try to just hold that piston there.
Yeah.
Sit this one on the thing. The reason I say this is interesting, I don't know whether it's a cause, but let's look at it. Let's roll this motor over. It's the furthest back cylinder on the block. Now, sometimes that would indicate that you got too much, because usually that happens. You got too hot. The piston got too hot, expanded, and grabbed the cylinder wall. And when it's the furthest back cylinder on a motor, it's all the way, all the water pump starts out here, pushes the water this way. Sometimes, you'd be like, show me the piston that come out of the other hole on the other side.
Right here.
That's that one there.
Yes. That's the last one that we just took out outside of that one.
Yeah. It's actually, hand me one of the pistons from the front of the motor.
Yeah.
Show you the difference here.
We got 1 and 2 right here.
Okay. So here's 1 and 2. One side of the motor. Now flip these over. See, it's a little scuffed, but not too much. But as you go back in the motor, look at that. Now, me as an engine builder, my brain starts saying, rear cylinders are getting a little warm. And it's causing the piston to expand a little bit and hit the cylinder wall. And obviously it's just destroyed, it's not only destroyed the piston, but it's destroyed the wall. So yeah, we look at the cylinder wall here, and it's just destroyed. Yeah, it's just destroyed. Where you look at another one, and you still have, some cross hatching. You can see where it's hit the wall here. I mean, it poured the motor out. But is that the problem with it? Is this something that I'll be seeing as I'm tearing down more of these 6.6s? Could be, but I tell you, as an engine builder, that's why it's so valuable. That's why I tear down motors. People still wonder, Dave, we're going to heck yeah, I'll work in my shop. I want to know why things are going down. And this is actually why I have my engine builder out here tearing this down for our first one, is because I want us to know, like, okay, this might just be a unique thing. But if we start seeing this show up on more of the 6.6s that we pulled out, what will I do to fix it? And I might give myself a little more cylinder wall clearance on those 2 rear pistons when I hung this block. Another, 2, 3, 10,000. Just enough so when that piston does expand a little bit, I won't have a problem. That's what a custom engine builder should be doing when they're, trying to figure these motors out. So we'll roll it around here, we'll get the crank out of it, see if there's anything else that I'm kind of concerned about. Boy, that thing spins like butter.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's get the side bolts out, just zip them out with it. These motors out. So we'll roll it around here, we'll get the crank out of it, see if there's anything else that I'm kind of concerned about. Boy, that thing spins like butter.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's get the side bolts out, just zip them out with it. So they just have the thrust washers on the top here. Okay. Hang on.
Take the gray across there.
Pretty good there too.
Yeah, okay. Sit on the bench.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so since we had a piston that got hot, I didn't notice the blown head gasket when I first took it down. Boy, that's an MLS gasket with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers in it. Did I get that right? I like that. Looks like 5 layers. Folks, that is a nice MLS gasket. And look here. The the back of this motor, you got a little, it looks like it gets hot here. So that could be a little weak spot in this motor under load, that those rear cylinders are getting a little warm. So, solving that would be maybe a little high volume oil, not oil pump, but a higher volume water pump. Maybe, if you get a little more water circulating through there. And of course, as an engine builder, I might choose. I got another one to tear down. Now, remember, this is a core that I'm rebuilding to put in a truck for a customer. I won't look at that customer's truck till we pull his engine out, put this one in as built, and then tear his down for core inspection. But if I start seeing this as, it's all about pattern recognition. As a motor builder, you're looking for pattern recognition. And when you get really good at that, once you recognize patterns, then you can create solutions for those patterns that are failing. So this has been fun. Hope you've enjoyed it. And give me another week or two, and I'll have my Godzilla motor out to 7.3, and we'll kind of compare them. We can talk about it. If you got any questions, that you want me to look at in that 7.3, or things I missed here you want to talk about, I know I'd really like to hear from some of the guys, the guys that are hot rodding this stuff and adding horsepower to it. If there's any builders out there that got some secrets, let me know. Look, make sure you click and subscribe to this channel so that my 7.3 Godzilla motor, you won't miss. You'll get a notice. It'll come up in your feed.
When were your guys gonna tell me that David dropped mozzarella sticks? Look at this!
Oh my.
Alright, so I'm super excited to do about 250 Alex.
Doctor. Well, it's quite a ride. There be
trying to take him out. The guy trying to go over the cop in a police car, and he just destroyed the police car. He destroyed the police car? He destroyed the police car.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We got another video for you. This one comes from Code Blue Cam, and it is: officer runs for her life from a stolen construction vehicle. I haven't seen it. Let's go.
Trying to run over the police officer right now. This guy is not fleeing. Oh my God.
When a strange man breaks into a construction site to steal a front loader, it seems like a straightforward theft, but no one realizes that it is only the beginning of a violent rampage that will soon put the responding officers directly in his path. Report for Henderson police officers begins around 9 a.m. on Sunday, January 4th, 2026, when this man jumps the fence of a construction site on Water Street, Nevada, to steal a 39,000-pound front loader. As an employee monitoring the site surveillance cameras from another location calls 911 to report the theft in progress, none of them realize that this is only the beginning.
So, why do you steal a front end loader? Unless, we get them where they would steal them and load them up on a trailer, take them to Mexico, whatever, out here in Arizona. But this guy is like, he's just out for a joyride, or got some mental health problems. He just wants to wreak havoc. I don't know what the reason is, but there's not a lot of reasons to steal it and to go for a joyride in it.
Of the destruction he's about to leave behind.
I need police immediately over one of our construction sites.
Is it just a construction site?
It is a construction site, yeah.
Okay. Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
We just had somebody hop the fence, and it looks like he's hot wiring one of the bulldozers right now.
Do you have video of this?
I'm watching him live right now.
You're on scene or video?
Over video, we have a guard on site, and I did dispatch them.
The suspect, white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
Looks either white or Hispanic.
Can you tell how old he might be?
Maybe late 20s, 30s.
And what color shirt and pants is he wearing?
He has a tan beanie, a tan jacket, looks like
So some of you may think sometimes these questions seem we just want them to get there, right? But these questions are important from dispatch because if somebody if he gets out of there and leaves, police get there, you have a description of this guy. So these are the standard questions they gotta ask. She's doing the best she can. In the meantime, by the way, she's already dispatching this call out. Somebody else is probably picking up and dispatching it. The call taker's probably inputting it in. So there's a lot going on here, more than just, you might be thinking, well, let's get on with it before this guy hurts somebody.
Yeah, it looks like he's messing around with it right now because the bulldozer's right in front of our camera.
Where's security?
They're supposed to be on site. I called them right away. I heard they won.
The suspect is 33-year-old Juan Rincon Carreño, and while the senior operator tells dispatch he's trying to reach the security guard on site, he has no idea that the guard has already had a violent encounter with Juan. Moments later, while still on call with dispatch, he learns what happened before he called 911, leaving him deeply concerned for the safety of everyone still at the construction site.
See any weapons?
No, I just saw him with the blue towel and it looks like a shoebox or like a brown box full of stuff, possibly.
Okay, your security's on scene with us. It looks like that guy threatened to kill her.
Oh, you threatened to kill her?
Yeah, we might be on the phone with her.
As Juan continues hot wiring the front loader, dispatch gets the security guard on the phone, who recounts the terrifying events that unfolded before he jumped the fence. But what neither the guard nor dispatch realizes is that this is only scratching the surface of what Juan is about to do.
911, what is the address that you're So I have a guy trying to steal my phone number. He's just threatening to kill me. I'm having security at one of the properties. I tried getting him off the property, but he was threatening to kill me, and he has a weapon on him as well. He's a messaging guy. He did have a screwdriver pointed at me, and he did say that he was going to shoot me, so I don't know if he has that gun on him, so I definitely would be advised on that too. I'm not armed, so. No. That's no need to that. We got like 4 officers around. He's real aggressive. Actually, super aggressive.
Given how quickly the situation has escalated, officers are already en route to the scene, hoping to stop Juan before he can get the front loader running. But the weapon he will ultimately use against them is something none of them could have imagined.
And he's still trying to take off, but he's not moving, so.
They're not too far away right now.
Oh, he got it started. He finally got it started. And which means he's probably gonna back up and take off with it right now. Yep. He's got it, and he looks like he's probably gonna ram the fence with it. Well, yeah, he's ramming the fence with it. He's going over the fence, and he took off with it right now. So, they will have to go behind it because he's driving right behind the house. It finally stopped. He just went over the fence. Yep. My morning. I see one of the cops just pull up right now, and yep, he got the, look like he's about to run over the police car. Oh my God.
Oh, crazy.
Time to try to stop Juan before he can cause any more damage, but it is already too late.
Okay, so in this situation, and I don't know what they're going to do because I haven't seen it, but this is a already pretty close to a deadly force, maybe even already at a deadly force because there's houses all around. He's already hot-wired it, broke through the fence, and he's coming at you. If these officers were to use deadly force, they would be justified already, probably. Let's see what happens.
So with her firearm drawn, Juan is determined to keep going, destroying almost everything in his path.
Right there. Screaming at him. She did use deadly force. Kudos to her. Like, this was a deadly force issue. She used it. I don't know if she hit him or not, though. Again, you're in it now. Go. Now. Oh man, the other guy.
shot. I'm pretty sure he's hit.
In an attempt to threaten the officer and escape, Juan first tries to run her over, then uses the front loader to crush her patrol vehicle before dragging it forward and ramming the sergeant's squad. As Juan finally comes to a stop after
Being an administrator, I think of, I'm glad they're safe, and then the second thing I think of is, man, oh, that patrol car's totaled. All that money.
officers fire multiple rounds. The construction site security guard reports the violent rampage to dispatch, watching in horror as she described what Juan has just attempted.
Yep, he's about to go. Yep, there you go. There you go. He's trying to run over the creek.
Oh yeah, so he definitely is trying to run her over.
Please.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God. Yep. Was that cop trying to kill him? Yep. The cop trying to take him out. The guy's trying to roll over the cop in a police car, and he just, yep, he just destroyed the police car. He destroyed the police car. He destroyed the police car. The cop is still shooting. Oh my God. What in the world? That is crazy.
That's what we would all be. If we were the security person on the phone, we'd be saying the same thing. Oh, they just shot him over. This is crazy.
They got him.
I'm saying it now.
I think they got him. Alright, I'm gonna have to call my boss and wow. Alright, they're getting the scene. Alright. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Alright.
Officers have now witnessed firsthand the level of violence Juan is capable of. And even as he remains inside the front loader, they know the situation can change at any moment.
Look, he's already dropping it.
On his stop, there was no indication that he's willing to surrender.
He was even turning the bucket over on the car. He could have destroyed 2 patrol vehicles.
Hey! Can you hear us? So we're probably gonna have to. Hey, keep your hands up!
We can have him try to call out.
Hey, start crawling out toward us!
Let me go hands. I did.
I will be hands. I will be hands. Say lethal. You say lethal. You can have a 40. Let's get a 40. Let's see you back.
So the 40 is a 40 Mike 40 millimeter, and shoots like the canister's probably like this big. It looks, at the edge of it, it looks like a racquetball almost, but it's not quite as big. But man, that thing will thump you and knock these people to the ground. I've seen people get hit by the 40 millimeter, and it will do some damage. But it's non-lethal. Or less lethal, I guess. If you hit somebody in the right place, it could be lethal.
Shot again, you understand? I shot. Yeah, I shot and Jacob shot.
Okay, I will be hands. You're gonna stay lethal. Let me have a 40.
Yeah, let me get a 40.
Hey, keep your hands where we can see them. Get out of the bulldozer slowly. I can't hear you. Climb out of the bulldozer slowly.
Do not put your hands down.
We still have one at gunpoint. We're giving them commands.
You're lethal. You're 40. I'm gonna give him verbal command. Sergeant, back the hands on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get close up.
Megan, you sit in the back of the hand on lethal, Megan. All right, listen, sir. Do this slowly. Climb out of the bulldozer.
I always had a pair of I used something called Gorilla Grip gloves but they're those black gloves that kind of grippy on the front. I always kept a pair inside of between my vest and my chest. I always had a pair in there, so I always could use those. These plastic gloves, these surgical or black latex gloves are so daggone hard to get on if your hands are sweaty and junk.
Down those steps. Get down on your knees.
You understand? Let's go!
Hey, keep your hands where we can see them. Get out of the bulldozer slowly. I can't hear you. Climb out of the bulldozer slowly.
Alviso, give them Spanish once. Can you get a good shot on the 40 from there? Yeah, come over here. Louder, Alviso. What's he saying? Hey! Hey! Exit! Hey! You need to come this way! To us! What's he saying?
Get out off the bulldozer slowly.
What's he saying? Come here! Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. I want someone on that side in case he goes mobile again. And we're just gonna go up there and we're gonna hands up. But someone stay lethal. Can you get lethal?
If we're gonna climb up, I don't want lethal behind us.
Just communicate with him.
Juan's family would later tell police that he had been battling severe mental health issues for nearly a decade. About 5 years earlier, he had attempted to set himself on fire at Boulder Station.
Oh, jeez. See, this is the problem is guy's attempted to set himself on fire. So it is Nevada, the Boulder Station, and yet he's still out and about. Like we think it's so, we put these people back in the city and
an incident that resulted in his arrest. He had also worked at a construction site for 6 months before being fired, after which he had enrolled in barber school. However, he was later removed from the program following an unknown incident and afterward stopped taking his prescribed medication. Despite the continued support of his family in moving into his sister's home, Juan continued to experience episodes. Eventually, he left the house on foot without his cell phone or identification, and although he had no known connection to the construction site where the incident occurred, his family believed he may have ended up in the area because he was attempting to walk to Arizona. For now, the rounds fire.
It's a little bit of a walk from Henderson, Nevada, unless you're just going to the border, but that is not near. It's about an hour away from Kingman.
Fired by officers have only injured Juan, but they do nothing to stop him as he continues to ignore every command. Officers are soon forced to take an extreme measure, one that will leave more.
I honestly did not see this going well, and that makes sense. Now you run the risk of actually one of the guys falling off the.
The man, he's inside the bulldozer. Bulldozer's not moving. His hands are up. He's refusing to come out. Hey, give me, hey, Okami, come here. Never mind. We got there. So his hands are up. He's just refusing to come out. So we're eventually gonna go up there. We don't know about any weapons.
You want us on this side? Then we got crossed.
Yeah, can you be hands up? Yeah. There. I got Okami going with you.
It looks immobile, but he has things coming out right on me.
You're gonna get shot again if you put your hands down.
If he comes out, this time we'll grab him too.
We're moving up. Do not reach for anything.
Watch yourself.
Help Brown when he comes down. Hey, 40 up.
So some of the other options you could have used was hit him with the 40 millimeter. You could also pop some pepper ball in there. So there's a few things you could have done.
40 is out. Lethal down. 40 deployed. Let's go! 40 was deployed. He's still uncooperative. We're working on getting him out. There you go. It is coming.
Oh, it looks like they are striking him. Good. Good work, man.
Watch it. Hey, get him out of there. Just move out of there. Get out of here. Watch your foot. Hey, that's my mother's office. Sorry. Get in over there. Relax. Get in. Sit him on that bottom.
What do I got?
You got a little bit of a cut right here.
Alright, that it?
Te presento la mejor pantalla. Pásale con CarPlay para.
We're trying to take him out. The guy's trying to go over the cops and the police.
That should be absolutely a no-bell situation. You're staying in until you go to court, and
They complied. The attempt ended with 2 officers falling from the machine along with Juan, leaving all of them injured. During the incident, Juan sustained gunshot wounds to his left arm and lower leg, along with a piece of metal lodged on the right side of his head. He was treated for his injury.
how does the metal get lodged into his head when they fell?
And made a full recovery. The subsequent investigation into the officer-involved shooting concluded that the officers had acted in self-defense.
What 100%.
Action was taken against them. Ultimately, Juan Rincon Carreno was charged with felony attempted murder with use of a deadly weapon, ×2. Resisting a public officer with a deadly weapon, not a firearm. Grand larceny of a motor vehicle, destroying property of another, over $1,200. And misdemeanor, destroying, injuring real or personal property of another. According to Henderson Justice Court records, Juan was denied bail, given the severity of the attempted murder charges involving law enforcement and the significant public.
Duh. That should be absolutely a no-bail situation. You're staying in until you go to court, and then you're going to go to prison after that.
Safety threat posed during the incident, the court ordered that he remain in continuous pretrial custody at the Henderson Detention Center. If convicted on all counts, Juan Rincon Carreno could face a maximum sentence of more than 50 years to life in a Nevada state prison.
And that's what needs to happen. 50 years, yeah, you tried to kill a couple cops. Thankfully, they were there, they did a great job. Kudos to these guys for being willing to get up in there and drag that guy out of there at the risk of their own safety. This is the type of work that police and deputies are doing and cops are doing all across this country. We put our lives and our own physical well-being at risk to make sure that they don't hurt other people, and thankfully nobody else was hurt. And he could have been much more hurt as well. So I am glad to see that they got this guy out of there and that he was held, and hopefully he gets minimum 25 years in prison, and hopefully closer to the 50 years, because he's a detriment to society. So let me know what you think. How did they do? And how would you have handled this situation? Would you have been willing to use lethal force like she did? I thought she did phenomenal. The other guy showed up, boom, jumped right into action. They destroyed at least one cruiser, maybe two. But nobody was killed. And this guy will heal from his wounds, and he'll have plenty of time in prison to think about it. So how much time do you think he deserves for this? Love to know what you think. All right, folks, comment, like, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next video.
We have climbing gyms all over the country, so we use Google Meet to connect with our staff. The automated note-taking
Tell
feature
you what,
in
guys.
has been really valuable. It saves me so much
This
time.
ain't no
We're
fun.
never going back.
I'm Jonathan Lawson, and I'm here to tell you about life insurance through the Colonial Penn program. If you're
This
interested
is
in
not
buy
fun.
life insurance on a fixed budget, remember the 3 Ps.
The three what?
The 3 Ps.
What are the three P's?
The 3 Ps of life insurance on a fixed budget are price, price, and price. A price you can afford, a price that can increase, and a price that fits your budget.
I'm 54, was a smoker, but I quit. What's my price?
You can get coverage for $9.95 a month.
I'm 65, I'm retired, and I take medications. What's my price?
Also $9.95 a month.
I'm on a fixed income. What's my price?
$9.95 a month for you too. If you're age 50 to 85, call now.
It is
The
hot
number
out
one
there.
most popular whole life insurance plan. Available through the Colonial Penn program. Options start at $9.95.
This job is for any
In the Battle of the
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Animals That Ask People for Help and Kindness. Today, we'll witness heartwarming moments when animals turn to humans for help. These inspiring stories of compassion are sure to touch your heart. rescue team saved an olive Ridley sea turtle that had a plastic fork stuck in its nose.
Get down for
A sea turtle trapped in a ghost net was successfully rescued and returned to freedom. While heading out to release his horses, an owner discovered that Romeo had become stuck with his head trapped in the gate and had to find a way to free him safely. A young moose trapped in the middle of a lake in Alaska was safely rescued under the anxious watch of its mother. A man in Alberta, Canada, rescued a young moose caught in a wire fence while coyotes were roaming nearby. A baby raccoon trapped on a fence was rescued in time by rescuers and brought down safely. A man successfully rescued an injured sloth and brought it to safety. A brave dog led its owner to an exhausted orphaned bear cub, giving him a chance to be saved.
Alright, we're cutting this one. Hour and a half. I think that's long enough. Thank you all for coming on by. We'll cut it short and I'll post this up later. Y'all have a fantastic day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down here in the corner. Help the man's channel out. And will be really appreciated. Alright, y'all have a fantastic day. Bye.